no one should be running on dirt. So looking at the excessive rainfall we've had this year, as you can see, our first mile of our race is underwater. We want you to be flexible and prepared for a route change for the first mile of the course, the finish of the course, and quite possibly a new location for chambers. So all of that is dependent on how much of this drains in a month, but as you can see, it's highly likely that it's not going to be dry. Hey guys, welcome to San Diego 100 start line area. I'm Angela.
I'm BJ.
And we're here to give you this year's race briefing.
Welcome, welcome. So we want to show you first the start finish line. If you look right over here as our man Gonzo pans the camera, you'll see the start finish. You'll see the very small parking area. There'll be a giant tent there on race day. Behind us you see the lower part of Stonewall Peak that you'll be running over about mile 10 or 11, and the lake that you'll be running around to start and to finish. So with that being said, we wanted to talk a little bit about the race and some of the things that we have going on this year.
We're looking forward to seeing you here on race morning. We have an optional bib pickup on Thursday from 2 to 5. If you choose to use that, you must still check in Friday morning, and Friday morning race check-in will be from 4:30 to 5:30.
Yes, everybody must check in, even if you have your bib, between 4:30 and 5:30.
When you check in, we're going to give you a solo parking pass or a crew parking pass. For our solo runners, we are going to give them first option to use the parking lot at the start finish. If you're in the parking lot, you must have your solo parking pass displayed on your windshield. If you are a crewed runner, then you will be receiving, when you check in, a crewed parking pass. And it is very important that your crew have that displayed in their vehicle and your bib number written on the pass. Once the race starts, we are asking that your crews immediately come to the start-finish staging area, because BJ and or myself have some rules and announcements that we would like to share with them.
The race will get going on time at 6 a.m. They'll be able to see you off, and immediately after they see you, they won't have any chance to see you again for quite some time. So there'll be plenty of time for crews and pacers and everyone else to meet with us to make sure we're all on the same page as to what the rules are. Unfortunately, we have very strict rules for our permits. It's very important that everyone follows them.
This year, we are looking at about 300 volunteers, and we are very grateful for the volunteers who have stuck with us, many of them 15 years or more. We are humbled by all of the people, runners and volunteers alike, who have continued on with us.
One of the things that's going to be unique about your volunteers you run into out here is the vast majority of them have run the race here before. They know exactly what's going on. They will absolutely be a key resource to you finishing this race. So please give them a big wave, a big thank you, and listen to what they have to say, because they're going to be a huge asset to you getting done. So one important rule that we want to make sure everyone's clear on: we absolutely love dogs, animals, all that kind of stuff, but we can't have them anywhere near the course for various reasons, permitting, safety, etc. There will be an area at the finish line that will be designated in the shade for your dogs, but please keep in mind that it's going to be at least 80, if not 90 degrees. This is not a great place for dogs. If it's at all possible, please do not bring your dogs. It is not a great spot for them.
Let's talk about the finish line. We hope to see all of you at the finish line. And in addition to the runners, we welcome the crews, pacers, spectators, and in the past, we also have aid station captains and volunteers alike who all come to witness your finish. So starting at 6:30, we're going to have some food for all of the runners and drinks as well. So come join us and help cheer on every finisher.
Come join us, stay to the end, enjoy the party. Let's root in the very last person who comes in. Hi everybody, welcome to Paso Picacho. This is going to be about mile 7.5 in your race and your very first aid station. It's a crazy scene down here, and lots of energy. You're going to really enjoy your time here. Just to get you all set up before you do your big climb up Stonewall Peak, your first big climb of the day. So we wanted to take a minute here to talk about the spirit of San Diego. So the race was started by Paul Schmidt, and then he gave it to Scotty Mills, and then Scotty Mills gave it to us. And it was a great honor, and we really appreciate the spirit and legacy that they've created. A spirit of volunteerism, of giving back, of sharing, of family, all things that we value and lessons that we've learned from them out on the course. So this award is meant to sort of recognize that spirit of San Diego. It originally came as an idea from Paul's late wife, Kathleen, and she was the driving force behind the first San Diego 100. In fact, it was almost a birthday present to Paul. Was the very first race back 20 some odd years ago. So she was always behind the race. She designed our super cool triangle logo. She was always volunteering, giving back with a smile, and working behind the scenes to make sure the race worked. And so this is in her memory. And this year, the award is going to go to the folks that run Paso Picacho, the Running Skirts. The gals at Running Skirts, Christy and Cindy, do an amazing job. They've run this aid station for 9 years, and you'll see when you get in here, it's a bevy of energy. They'll be dressed up in some goofy costumes, maybe like Avengers or Smurfs or who knows what they'll be, and they'll have lots of energy and get your day started right. But beyond that, you're gonna get to see them all over the course. You never know where these people will show up. Not just Cindy and Christy, but the rest of the crew. They'll dress up and end up somewhere warm to hand up cooling buffs. In the middle of the night, they might show up. They might be pacing somebody. You just never know where you see them, and they're here for the entirety of the race, and you'll see them at the finish. They're really dedicated volunteers. And so this is to them. Thank you so much, Running Skirts, for all you guys do. We really, really appreciate it and appreciate your partnership, and looking forward to many more with you.
Hey everybody, here we are at Chambers, about mile 12.5 in the race. You already went through Paso, came over through the trees, along the lake, and then you're going to come across the levee into the Tiki Bar. There's a lot of great energy, a lot of great drinks if you're already questioning your decision. You got some hydration, you got some fuel, and then as you're set to head out, you're gonna go back across the levee, head out through those trees and over by that meadow, taking you all the way into mile 21 Sunrise.
Okay, so now that we've got those niceties out the way about how beautiful it is, let's talk about some hard-ass rules. As we all found out the hard way the last few years, permitting in San Diego County can be a challenge, so we take our rules very seriously. Number 1 rule, no littering on the course. Leave the course better than you found it. If you find some litter, go ahead and pick it up. Number 2, if you're a crewed runner, make sure you know where your crews and pacers are allowed, and spectators. Any crews, pacers, spectators are going to be attributed to you, and if they're in a non-crew station, you will be disqualified, no questions asked. We must obey that rule, and you must make sure your crew and your pacers and your spectators know that rule. You will be held responsible for their actions. If you are a solo runner with no crew, you'll have one of these beautiful bands around your wrist. That means you're not allowed to get any aid whatsoever other than from our awesome volunteers. They are fantastic. They will take great care of you. Make sure when you come in to say, I'm a solo runner, and they'll make sure to give you all the help you need to get you moving on to the next station. No course cutting. Be nice to our volunteers. Be nice to each other. Be nice to whoever you see on the trail. We are a permitted event. We do not have a right to put this on. Other people have a right to use the trails. Please keep that in mind as you're out there. They won't know necessarily you've just run 98 miles and thrown up on a rock.
They have the right of way.
They do have the right of way. So please keep that in mind. Our aid station captains and our volunteers have the ability to use any of those rules and disqualify you on the spot. They have our authority. They're very experienced. They won't do it unless they have to, but they will do it if it's warranted. So please respect them, be polite, follow the rules. This is just highlights. Read through the race handbook. All the rules you'll need are there. If you have questions, email us or come see us Thursday before the race and ask us. We'll make sure that we're all on the same page.
Remember, they didn't pay to run the race, and they have everything you need to get through the course, so treat them right.
So we're here at Sunrise. Sunrise is going to be mile 21 and mile 91 of your adventure. This is in the state park. It's in Anza Borrego State Park, which is run the same way as Cuyamaca State Park, where you started. Behind us, you can see Stonewall Peak. You can see Middle Peak. Those are the first two peaks that you've climbed. You've come all the way through some meadows. You've come out to here, and you're gonna be going out that way out to the PCT for a wonderful rest of your journey on the PCT. This is your first crew accessible station, so since we're here, we thought we'd talk about crews.
There's also a different protocol with the parking pass, being that this is in the state park. Download and open the app here, and we're putting it on video for you because if you wait until you're at Sunrise, you're going to have a very difficult time and you may not have success in downloading the app and paying to park. Other crew accessible spots are going to require an adventure pass. You can get a daily pass at the Mount Laguna Lodge. You can get it at REI, but you need to have one. They will enforce parking. Our permits cover our runners and our volunteers. They do not cover crews and spectators. We're talking a lot about crews, but it's a very important part of our race, and it's one of the biggest concerns in getting our permit. It are not the amount of runners that we have on the course, but the amount of people that come out to crew and spectate. And right now, we're going to hit on not only the parking pass, but we're going to hit on speeding. Speeding is a huge safety issue here out on these roads. The vehicles that will be coming by. Please drive safe and be aware of anything on the road that might come up. We've hit deer before, and they are out here, and we want everybody to be safe. The other thing is be aware of where you park. There's designated parking areas all around the course, but they're very few, and the rules are very strict, specifically at the start-finish where we just were not too long ago. You will get ticketed if you park on that highway, so be safe, be aware of all of the rules, and don't forget to have your parking passes in addition to your crew pass that we gave you.
Also, please keep in mind, if you have a National Forest Pass, National Parks Pass, that is good for anything that's not this aid station where you're in the state park.
All right, everybody, we decided to bring you down to Pioneer Mail to let you know we have Gloria King and her husband, Mike Roberts, and they are going to take on the entire station for you. But we can assure you Gloria is also a San Diego 100 finisher, and many of the volunteers here are finishers as well. So they will be ready to meet you, happy to see you, and able to fulfill whatever need you have. We'd also like to take this opportunity to mention to you our sponsors. We want to thank our sponsors.
Yay, sponsors!
Woo! So we'd like to start by mentioning our tech shirts. All of you are going to get an Easy Tea tech shirt at your pickup when you get your race swag bag, and that is from Rabbit.
Ooh, is my head comfortable?
Runnin' Rabbit has provided us with all of our tech shirts for this year's race. In addition to that, we have Goo Energy. So we have gels on the course provided by Goo Energy. So plan that into your race day or not your race day if you're BJ, and just take one for fun.
More, please.
All the electrolytes you need. We'd also like to thank Injinji. Injinji has been with us for several years, And we'd like to thank Jason and the good folks over there. They're a local store, a local company, and they have been generous enough to provide every runner with their own pair of socks. Let's see what else we got. Squirrel nut butter, lube it or lose it.
Man, I'm nice and slippery. All right.
We'd also like to thank Tailwind. Tailwind, we are happy to announce that we were the first 100-miler that Tailwind ever sponsored. And they have been with us ever since. And they have generously provided all of the Tailwind for every aid station along the course. We'd also like to thank Running Skirts. Running Skirts not only donated some swag for our raffle. Whoa, 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 BJ. I don't think so. We don't need to see that. They've donated a wonderful swag bag. They are also our aid station captains at the very first aid station you will hit, Paso Picacho. That's going to lead into our raffle for this year's race. We have some donations to show you, and we have more surprises to come. But we have a raffle every year to help support our Trail Fit program. Many of you who live local, and some of you who've even visited, have come out and helped our three Kens and Eric with trail maintenance, trail building, taken some classes with him to become trail leaders, and they are responsible for keeping and maintaining all of our building and maintaining all of the trails that you are going to be running on race day. And so we do the raffle, and so that we can help continue to support them and furthering their education through training classes, supplying them with more tools that they need, and making sure they have some appropriate post-trail work refreshments and food. At this time, some of the prizes that are going to be available for our raffle include some $50 gift cards generously donated by Rabbit, some swag bags from Injinji, some gift cards for our local pub at the lake, and hey, you know what? BJ and I are even throwing in a free entry to next year's race. Woo! Should you want to do this again?
Suckers.
So swing on by, buy your tickets, support a great cause, and help us out with Trail Fit.
So Angela, tell me, where exactly can we get these awesome raffle tickets to get these amazing prizes?
Glad you asked. We're going to give you the opportunity to buy the raffle tickets at the bib pickup on Thursday, or you can buy them at the race finish line on Saturday, and we will announce the finishers at some point during the race. And no worries if you're not there or to hear your name announced, or you're on the course. We're just going to ask that you put your email on your ticket, and we are happy to mail you any of the things that you have won. Hey everybody, we're here at Penny Pines 1 aid station. You'll be approaching around mile 44 in the race when you arrive here. You will have just finished one of the first of the biggest climbs in this race, climbing up Noble Canyon. This aid station is run by the Ross family, and they've been with us for years. They are incredible, and they have put many runners back together after that climb. So do not let your dreams of the finish line die here. Additionally, we'd also like to take the opportunity right now to welcome our newest sponsor this year to the race, Method 7 Sunglasses. Woohoo! They are going to be out with a booth at the start-finish line, telling you everything you need to know and answering all of your questions about their incredible sunglasses. And if you are enjoying some coffee at the start, some beer at the finish, or some post-race beers at the brewery party, you can give them a huge thank you. In fact, here at Penny 1, through these awesome sunglasses, I can see all the way over to Penny 2, mile 80.
Hey everybody, through the magic of Gonzo's legs and a little bit of editing, you're now at mile 80, where we will have Tracy Domino and her crew set up here to get you through a long cold night on the PCT. They'll be ready to help you out and have a great time. And for those of you arriving a little late, you better have some awesome Method 7 sunglasses so you don't get your eyes burned out by that awesome sunrise that's gonna come right over the desert. That's what I'm talking about. Hello, we are now down at what used to be known as Pine Creek Aid Station. It is now called Hammer's Hideaway. You've come down a paved road, down this way. You've come into the aid station, and you will be climbing Noble Canyon. What we think is one of the most dangerous sections of our course, which is Noble Canyon. It's a long, hot climb where the heat index can top 100 degrees. So we thought this would be a good place to talk about runner safety. And to emphasize some of our points, we're gonna have a little bit of do's and don'ts. So we have our Goofus runner over here. Say hi, Goofus.
Hi.
Hey, Goofus, I can't see your number. What's your number? Oh, 112. That's Mike Druris, also known as Mikey Fresh. So, Mikey Fresh, I can't see your number. Oh, well, that's hard to track, so that's not gonna work for us. Why don't you go back out and try it again? Let's try it again. Come on in, runner.
Water, I need water.
What number are you? I can't see your bib.
I'm 110.
Let's see your bib. Where's your bib? Oh, Mikey Fresh, you're 112. And try again. And here comes the right way to do it. Here she comes.
112, 112.
Oh,
Did you get that?
Good to see you, Mikey Fresh. Not only do we want you to check into the station, we also want you to check out of the station. Please make sure your bib is visible in front, just like we just saw. Runner tracking is critical to knowing whether or not you are safe, so we know where you are. It is the #1 reason for the aid stations, not to give you water, but to make sure that we know where you are and you're safe. If you decide you've had enough and you can't go anymore, then please, you must tell an aid station captain. You can only drop out at aid stations. You can only drop out to the aid station captain, who will then take your bib. You do not get to keep it as a souvenir. We use them to know who is on and off our course. If for any reason you leave the course and we don't know about it and we can't find you, you are going to be responsible for the costs of finding you. So it's important for us, it's important for you, it's important for your wallet. If you drop, make sure it's at an aid station to the aid station captain. So, tracking your runners. You can track your runners on ultralive.net. It's not live, but it's as live as we can get. So you'll absolutely have the ability to see where your runner is, not in real time, but have an idea about where they are, how they're doing, whether they're still on the course, etc., and so forth. If you come into an aid station and you look really bad, our aid station captains have the authority to take you off the course for your own safety. We all sometimes as ultra runners think we're a little stronger than we are. The aid station captain has our absolute authority to make those safety decisions for you. If that happens to you, please don't complain, please don't yell. Please understand it's for your own safety, and an experienced aid station captain who has seen hundreds of other runners has decided, unfortunately, today isn't your day, and you have to respect their decision.
Our cutoff times at every aid station are times that you must be out of the aid station. So if you come in at the cutoff time, you've not met the cutoff time. So be aware of that.
Now, we get cell service on about 90% of our course, sometimes more. You will not have cell service at Sibbets Flat. You will not have cell service at Pioneer Mail. Most other places, you will have cell service on the course if you need to call someone for help. We are going to give you our phone numbers. You can call us if it is an emergency, and only if it is an emergency.
And
only if it is an emergency.
And that is only accessible starting on Friday at 6 a.m. and it ends Saturday at 2 p.m.
So
it's no longer active.
BJ's phone number is 858-761-2717. And don't call us for any dates. We're married.
Not to each other, but we're married. I know you want this, ladies and gentlemen.
We're sexy, we can't help it.
Hey guys, so here we are at Meadows. This is mile, we're gonna call it 49.
Halfway done.
You're almost halfway done. So this aid station is run by my amazing, wonderful husband. So if you do anything, I'm gonna hear about it and I'm gonna find you. So don't screw up, be nice.
So this is where we're going to talk about course marking. Course marking is very important. Having said that, we expect you to know the course. There's no reason not to know it. There's a GPX file, there's turn-by-turn instructions, and the man behind our camera today, Brian Gonzalez, that man right there, has been created amazing videos of every key turn on the course and almost every mile. They're very digestible, they're very available. Go to YouTube Cliffs and Meadows and you will find them. There's also a link from our site and you'll find all the information you want about the course. You are doing yourself a grave disservice by not checking out these videos that Brian has worked so hard on. So without further ado, we're gonna turn it over to the man, the myth, our right-hand man, our left-hand man, our videographer, our course marking director, and God knows what else he does, Brian Gonzalez!
Gonzo!
So one of the primary marking tools that you'll see is going to be this orange marking ribbon. And the marking ribbon is marked, confidence markers are marked about every quarter mile, which turns out to be every roughly 4 to 6 minutes. You'll see a single ribbon running time. If you're going a little bit slower, then it might be a little longer than 4 to 6 minutes. And if you're going really fast, you might see it a little sooner. But that's on average. You'll see a single ribbon. Now, if you see multiple ribbons, if you see more than one ribbon at a time, that means you need to pay attention. Something is happening. We use multiple ribbons on the turns, which we can show you in just a minute. Another thing you'll see is, oh my gosh, you're gonna get attacked by these clothespins that have a reflective tape on the edge of it. So we use these for the night sections. So you might see a clothespin ribbon with reflective tape. So that's awesome. We use this for marking for areas that may be more difficult, like through a meadow where there's no trees or anything like that. So you could see, again, reflective flags as well. You might have some different arrows coming at your way. So this is an example of an arrow. We can flip this around, showing you which way you're turning. We could have signs that have arrows that say left turn as well. Or we might have little arrows such as this, depending on which way we are going.
Hey Brian, what do you do if you've gone about 10 to 15 minutes and you haven't seen a ribbon or a sign?
If you go 10 to 15 minutes and you haven't seen a ribbon or a sign, first of all, stop. And you can wait for just a moment to see if another runner comes by. And if another runner doesn't come by, you should retrace your steps and go back to the last time that you saw a ribbon. It's not uncommon to have somebody go off course and not see confidence markers for way too long and they get off course. So make sure that if you do that, then you turn around and retrace your steps. So also, it's important that you know the course and not rely on the people that are around you running with you. If you have a train of 3 people, think about this. You've got a train of 3 people running. The guy in the lead is thinking, well, the 2 people behind me, they know where they're going. They'll tell me if I take a wrong turn, right? And the guy in the middle is thinking, well, I'm surrounded by the guy in the lead. He clearly knows where he's going. And the guy behind me, he's gonna tell me if I turn wrong. And then the guy in the back definitely is going to be thinking, well, these 2 people know where they're going. And so when people get off course, it's typically in a bunch of 3. So make sure that you independently are looking for course markings throughout the course. The same thing with pacers. So if you're a pacer, you obviously want to help your runner and look for markers, but don't rely on your pacer to know the course. It's you as the runner. You are responsible to know the course. You as the runner should pay attention to the course markings. This is an example of an intersection that's a little difficult to mark because there's not a lot of trees or anything to mark. So we've got an arrow with multiple ribbon and then a couple more right after the turn to indicate that you've taken the correct turn.
Hey everybody, we're here at Hopnonymous Brewery, a place where we had our awesome host party last year, and our favorite brewery is happy to host us again this year. So we're coming to you with a couple of drinks and wanted to remind you that the party is going to be a week after the race on Saturday, June 10th from 1 to 4. And just like last year, beers are on us, at least the first one. So you wear your San Diego Finisher shirt or your San Diego Volunteer shirt or some sort of San Diego swag, we will give you a ticket and buy you the first beer. After that, we ask you to be generous and buy our volunteers the next beer. So that way everybody wins.
You know, Ange, these beers are delicious, but nothing goes better with beer than a delicious red vine.
I think you're right, BJ.
And you know, it just so happens this year that Red Vines is a sponsor of the San Diego 100. Can you believe it?
No way.
No.
What do we get?
Yes, wait. Well,
what are the runners going to get?
the runners are going to get a bucket of Red Vines at every aid station. So when you've enjoyed your delicious goo, which is delicious, by the way, every flavor delicious,
Love
you
it.
get to have a Red Vine as a chaser. And it's so delicious. You know, Red Vines indeed are the flavor of the West.
Love it.
So that's about it from us. We're really looking forward to seeing you guys. Oh, secret word.
Oh man, you know, last year we didn't have a secret word, and people are expecting that again. They watched that whole video so diligently, and they were like, oh, there's no secret word. We can't let them get away with the same thing
No,
this
that's
year.
crap. We gotta have a secret word. Well,
No, you see something in the brewery?
I do see something. What do we have down here?
Oh,
It's Wiley.
Wiley!
I guess our secret word's gonna have to be Wiley.
Well, some of you have met him on the training run. He's here for you today.
All right, Wiley. So thanks everybody for watching. Secret word is Wiley when you pick up your bib. We are looking forward to seeing you guys, and have a great day. Bye. Red Vines.